Hello everyone, myself Dr. Priyanka Chaudhary, postgraduate third year, Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Now we'll discuss management of Le Fort fractures. Introduction. The principles of treatment of midfacial fracture, it consists of the reduction and fixation of the fractured bones to one another and to the skull. Now, what do you mean by reduction? It is a process to bring the fractured fragments into alignment or in its anatomical position. There are two methods of reduction. They are reduction by manipulation. Second is reduction by traction. Now comes reduction by manipulation. If the segment is loosely mobile, then simple hand manipulation can be done. Maxilla, it is held between the index finger and thumb and brought into the normal occlusion. If it is impacted, then you can use row maxillary disimpaction forceps. It is available as right and left forceps. You have to stand from behind, grasp the two forceps and the fracture segment is manipulated. In case of split palate, anterior traction in case of split palate, it may be facilitated by Hayton-Williams forceps. This is the image of Hayton-Williams forceps. Now in case of reduction of nasal septum, you can use Walsham forceps and Ash forceps. It is used to correct the lateral deviation of the fractured nose and disimpaction and repositioning of the bony fragment. Walsham forceps, they are the paired instrument, and Ash forceps, they are the unpaired instrument. These are the image of Walsham and Ash forceps. Now comes reduction by traction. What do you mean by traction? It is a procedure by which fractured, dislocated fragments, they are gradually pulled by elastic bands. It can be achieved by two types. First is intraoral elastic traction. Intraoral intermaxillary elastic traction may be used in an appropriate direction to restore the normal occlusion. Once the satisfactory occlusion is achieved, it is replaced by IMF. Second, in case of extraoral elastic traction with appropriate extension bars and side bars. Now, classification of methods of maxillary fracture fixation. First is internal fixation, which can be done by suspension wires or direct osteosynthesis, and second is external fixation by craniomandibular or craniomaxillary fixation. Now comes internal fixation by suspension wires. First is frontal, centrally or laterally placed. Circumzygomatic wiring you can do, zygomatic wiring you can do, infraorbital and piriform aperture wiring. These are the wirings, that is the infraorbital suspension wiring, piriform aperture wiring, frontal wiring and circumzygomatic wiring. Now what are the disadvantages of suspension wiring? Incomplete fixation of fractured fragments, insufficient visualization of fractures and no three-dimensional stability. Second is direct osteosynthesis. First, it can be transosseous or interosseous wiring, and it can also be done by plates and screws. First comes the transosseous wiring. You can do on zygomatico-frontal region, zygomatico-maxillary region, zygomatic bone in case of comminuted fracture and frontonasal process. Now the disadvantages are non-rigid type of osteosynthesis. There is no three-dimensional stability. It only provides monoplane traction. IMF, it is always needed. Under functional stress, the wire, it loses its rigidity, direction, control and surface contact. Delayed healing because of micro movement at the fracture site. Mini plates and screws, these are monocortical semi-rigid fixation device which only provides 3D stability. They comes in the X form, H, L shape, T shape and Y shape. The types of metals used are stainless steel and titanium. Advantages: simple and less intraoperative time. Intraoral approach is sufficient. Post-operative IMF is not needed or period of IMF is reduced. Three-dimensional stability and early return of function. Now comes the surgical approaches. First is the maxillary vestibular approach, which is also known as degloving incision. The incision is made at least 3 to 5 mm above the mucogingival junction. Then the incision is carried down through the mucosa, submucosa and onto the bony surfaces. Second is the lower eyelid approach. Third is the transconjunctival approach. It is the popular approach for the exposure of the orbital floor and inferior orbital rims, and the advantages are excellent cosmetic result. Second is rapid, no skin or muscle dissection is necessary. Disadvantages is medial extent of the incision is limited by the lacrimal drainage system. Fourth is the supraorbital eyebrow approach. It is used to gain access to the superior lateral orbital rim. Fifth is the upper eyelid approach. Seventh is the Gillies temporal approach. The Gillies techniques is describe a temporal incision which is made 2.5 cm superior to the helix within the hairline. Then the rho zygomatic elevator is inserted just deep to the depressed zygomatic arch, and an outward force is applied in order to raise the depressed zygomatic arch. These are the references. Thank you so much.